The bandwidth for this episode of Fat to Fit HQ is sponsored by the Firearms Radio Network, firearmsradio.tv.
Hi. Welcome to episode 122 of the Fat to Fit HQ podcast. Before we get started, I want to apologize for a little bit of a train wreck that is the beginning of this show. We've got our kids involved, and you get to hear me get a little dysfunctional with them, which I kind of love because it's real life, and that's just how we roll. I have amazing kids, and they helped us with the show because we're going into the mud run season, and we had a great experience last year as a family. Because I struggle to get my kids active, and not when it comes to a mud run. We involved them, and they couldn't wait to do it again. And we're coming up on the Gritty Goddess, and the Gritty Goddess is in Galveston, Texas. It's April 18th, and you can join us. You could, if you're in the United States, you could join us. And then we have Tough Mudder Chicago. That's going to be a Firearms Radio Network run, and that is coming up on May 9th. And I have discounts for you. Please email me because we have Jake Challen, president of the Firearms Radio Network, and Gun Guy Radio founder, Fat to Fit HQ founder, if you were here for the early days. Yeah, I'm going to run with Jake. We're going to be the gun runners, and you can do that too. You can be with us on May 9th in Chicago. And then we have Nick from Practically Tactical, Nick Humphreys. That's going to be a blast. Another Firearms Radio Network host is running with us also, Mike from the Reloading Podcast. So, it's going to be a big FRN run, and we'd love to have you with us. And of course, in October, we have Tough Mudder Las Vegas. And Hammer Jammer is heading up that team. Jennifer from Girls Like Guns 2 is running with us. Several people are coming to Las Vegas. And you can do any of these runs if you just start walking, as long as you can walk the distance of the course, which for a Tough Mudder is 10 to 12 miles. The rest will take care of itself because we're not going to do anything crazy. We're not going to do an obstacle that we're not trained for. We're just going to have a lot of fun that day. So let's go hear about Gritty Goddess from some people who did it last year and can't wait to do it again. And if you do your own mud run with your friends or on your own, just let me know. I'd love to give you a shout out and tell you kudos and be excited for you. And if you can do it with us, email me, Carol@fat2fithq.com. Okay, let's go start the show.
Welcome to the Fat Fit HQ podcast. I'm Nick, along with some other people who are doing the Gritty Goddess, also at Moody Gardens, April 18th, and it's in Galveston, Texas.
Yay! Good job. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Hey, let's introduce ourselves real quick. We're going to go to our guests. Yes, Nick introduced himself. We're going to go to our guests first. Can you guys introduce yourself first?
Okay, I think you're pointing at us, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But, this is Ariel Robles, and I am Perlita Robles.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
And I am Caroline Mina.
Caroline Miner, regular on the Fat to Fit HQ podcast. Okay, guys, you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Nick. You may have heard of me before in the intro. Yeah. But I'm Angelica, and
Show me your shirt.
I'm a fan of Fat to Fit. I'm also a fan of Fat to Fit, but I don't have.
He has a gun runner shirt on.
I have a Puma shirt.
Nice. Okay, will you introduce yourself?
Radio. Fat to Fit.
I'm Anthony Salva, and I am a fan of Fat to Fit.
Okay.
I have a shirt of it.
All right. So, okay. So, those are my kids. We're here. Hey, can y'all be quiet just for a second? Okay.
So this show that we're doing, I'm Carol Salva from the Firearms Radio Network, and this show that we're doing this evening is a show where we're going to talk about the Gritty Goddess. And the Gritty Goddess is a mud run, like Nicholas told us.
I love it. I love obstacle courses. I love ropes course. Anything that you get muddy and has an obstacle course and you have to find your way around.
That's my inactive child who will not leave the computer unless it's a ropes course or an obstacle run. So
or zip line, or fun camp. I love camp.
Okay.
I love camp.
So here's what we're going to do, because we want everybody to know about this run, because our family has had a ton of fun. A couple of us here have done it. Tony's going to do it for the first time this year. But Ariel, can you hear me, honey?
Yes.
Okay. I'd love for Ariel to talk a bit, because it's getting close to the kids' bedtime. So we're going to let Ariel talk for a little bit, and then we're going to let these kids talk for a little bit, and then y'all are going to bed and the adults are going to talk, okay? Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. So, Ariel, do you remember last year, maybe your mom can ask you some questions on that end so that you can kind of let people know what you thought about the Gritty Goddess. We're going to kind of turn it over to you guys for a little bit. Is that okay?
That's fine, Carol. That's fine. So I'll ask her some questions. So what was your favorite part of the Gritty Goddess?
My favorite part was when we had to go under these ropes and we had to get down under the ropes in the mud.
Oh, in the mud. And did you like getting into the mud?
We actually didn't.
I remember that Angelica and Ariel really had a hard time getting on their tummies, crawling in the mud. So remember that, Angelica? You lost your shoe. I think your goals, the two of you girls, your goals will be to crawl on your tummy for this time around and crawl in the mud.
Ooh,
you remember that, Angelica?
Have some girls doing some army crawls, kind of swimming through the mud this time?
Do not lose your.
Yes, we're going to have them do that this year.
Are we practicing, Ariel? Have you practiced any mud crawling, Ariel?
No.
Not yet, but I think we're going to just practice just crawling on our tummies so we can get them to do it this time around and not get a shoe stuck, right?
Yeah, we were stuck at that one obstacle for a long time because they were very grossed out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a challenge to get through the mud, right? So, yeah. And what other obstacle did you like? Which one was your favorite?
The slide with mud on it.
The slide with the mud, which one was that?
The first obstacle.
Oh, the hill. Did y'all like the hill going down?
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, that's where we lost our numbers, right? Yeah. We were going to our stomachs, our tummies, and we, lost our numbers. But that was like a really fun obstacle, going down our stomach, going down that slide and getting wet. So you liked that one? What was another obstacle that you liked? There was another
one where you had to crawl over that barrel thing.
Go through the barrel?
Yeah, Nick was the only one that could actually go over it.
Oh, really? Oh. So it's a barrel that you're going over or through?
Over.
You're going over that black barrel that you have to go over.
Yeah.
And so Nick was the only one that was able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you and Angelica go under it?
Yes.
I was on and had to go over like that. The one after that you crawl.
That was hard after you're covered up with a lot of mud. It's hard to go over that barrel, right?
My feet were pulling me down and I couldn't jump, so I had to get on because there was a little flat part where it was holding it up on both sides. So I stood here and I pushed myself up because if I was here in the mud, it wouldn't let me jump. So I pushed myself up from there and then got over it.
Yeah, that was a challenge because you're being weighed down by mud. So, but it was all worth it. Yeah.
That's a good mud tip. How about Nick and Angelica? What were your favorite ones? Because I have another question for Ariel, but let's get through all the favorite ones first.
My favorite obstacle was the one with the ropes. That I acted like they were lasers and I didn't touch them. But the funniest name I ever heard was the boob tube.
Oh.
It smelled. No, they thought it smelled. I was okay with it. I was like,
Nick, which one was that one? The boob tube.
That was just before they got stuck in the mud. They had to crawl through those long tubes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
We
was
all
kind
did.
of
Oh, yeah, I should mention that. Well, Jill, tell us what your favorite one was.
Let's see. I like the one at the beginning where with the water slide. That my hair was like
That big long hill. So just for people who don't know, Gritty Goddess is a 5K. It's not just a mud run, it's an obstacle run at Moody Gardens yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But the actual run is Gritty Goddess, and it's a 5K in Galveston, Texas. It's at Moody Gardens. They do one in the fall and one in the spring, and it's super fun because it used to be just for women, and it's mostly, there's a lot of women's charities that it supports. You get out there with a bunch of your girlfriends, and it's a great entry course, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But they added a kids run, and it's one of the longest kids runs that I've ever seen. It's not just a 100-yard dash or a little bit of through the mud. They do about half the course. They do at least 1.5 miles, I think is what it was. And so they do all the same obstacles that we did for that. So this was the longest obstacle run. This was the only obstacle mud run y'all had ever done, right?
Not me.
Yeah, for Era it was.
Yeah.
Not me.
So tell us,
Sober.
Tony was supposed to do it, but
Then I had plans.
But then something else came up, but he's going to do it this year. These two guys have been talking about it since last April. They can't wait to do it again. Ariel, why do you want to do it again?
Because last time it was super fun.
But it was hard, girlfriend. It was hard.
Because I just love mud.
Oh, all of a sudden she loves mud. Woohoo! Yay for mud.
We're so proud, right? We should be proud, I think, to get our kids out there in something fun that the whole family can do, don't you think?
Yeah, it is a lot of fun for the kids to see us, and for the husbands too. Maybe next time they'll join us. The couples therapy. Well, maybe next year we can get the husbands to join us for the couples wave. And
yes,
but it's nice to see them come and support us and to watch and take pictures. And and it's also nice for the kids to join us and see that if mommies can do it, they can do it too. And it's really fun to be, doing this all together.
Well, I think so. And that's a new one that they added this year was couples therapy. And so after all the women's waves, there's that couples wave, and they're calling it couples therapy. And even though our husbands are not doing it, we have a whole year to talk them in next year. But even though they're not doing it, these two men right here, these two men, sorry, Jill, these two men right here are going to run with us so that we can do the couples wave, because we really like that wave time. So
okay.
How's
and we want
from the 5K?
it is a 5K. And then right after that, the kids do the kid run. So Ariel and Angelica, we will still all be cheering along, and we'll be running along. I don't know if they'll let you do both. I don't know.
Oh, they can, Carol. There's nobody watching.
We're advertising for them right now, Perlita, so we're not going to say that. But thank you.
Oh, never mind.
There's one viewer. One viewer. Hey, one viewer.
Let's edit that part.
Hey, one viewer, don't tell anybody.
Sorry, just kidding.
Yeah, kidding. No, I do want to thank Claire from Gritty Goddess for supporting our show and for supporting us, because this is the 3rd year that we're going to do it. And so, every year, more people that we know. Caroline, we're going to talk to Caroline in a little bit. She's taken other friends. This year, we're part of another team called the Purple Pinups. And so there's a lot of other ladies that are doing it with us.
Wait, we're going against people?
No. We're just in different teams. You know Miss Barbier?
Yeah.
She's doing it.
Wait, Barbier?
Yes. She's a mom of friends of y'all's at school. So we're going to get those. Oh, well, we don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Blake.
She might not want their name out there, Nick. So I'm going to ask her if her kids can run it too, okay? Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right. All right. I think you guys, what else do y'all want to say? Tony, how come you want to do it? You didn't do it last year.
Well, I was going to do it last year with my friend, but then he said he couldn't, so I ended up going to his house. And this year, I think I might be able to do it with a friend. If not, I'll be able to do it with you guys.
We are your friends. We are your friends.
Yeah, you're already doing it.
Okay, Angelica, we have not. Okay, we have not heard from Angelica much at all. Angelica, tell us how you felt before the run, and then if you felt any different after.
So at the beginning, I didn't know whether it would be really fun or really unfun.
Not fun.
Unfun. Unfun. That's fun.
Okay. Okay, we know what you mean.
Fun word.
Okay. And then after?
After I felt like unfun is not the word.
Okay, tell us why do you want to do it again, honey?
Why do I want to do it again? Because after the run, I thought like this surprised me.
How did it surprise you?
Because this wasn't what I expected. Like, it was way funner than I expected.
I know, we always drag you to these things, and then you're like, hey, that was fun. All right. Nick, do you want to? I know you're.
Should talk.
Nurse Minor is going to talk. Y'all are going to bed. Y'all are going to bed. She needs to bring some children to this show, and then we'll let her talk.
I have a cat here.
She's got her cat talk. Okay, so one more quick thing from Ariel. Ariel, there's a lot of kids out there that they've never done anything like this, and I heard you just did a 5K the other day with your mom. Is that right?
Yes.
And now you've done several, right?
Yeah, about
two. Just two.
Okay, well, you've done a couple.
You did run for the Rose.
No, she's about to, aren't you? Oh, yeah, she did run for the Rose last year. But that was
she
the
did
kid run.
run.
Now she's doing
The
full
kid run.
5Ks.
I'm doing the 5K.
Okay. So, Ariel, what would you tell... Now, y'all need to be quiet for a minute so we can hear her. Ariel, what would you tell other kids that aren't sure if they should do it or not?
That you should do it, because at first you would think that it isn't gonna be fun, but after you try the whole thing, it really is fun.
It really is. Even though it's hard?
Yeah, it's hard, but it's fun.
What about the mud and the stinkiness?
Worth it.
What about that? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And all the climbing and all the running?
I think that it's all worth it. I think it's all worth it for them, it's because they get to be with their friends and get to exercise too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a giant playground where you get money.
Playground.
Do you remember, Perlita, that they kept saying, I can't believe we're not in trouble for being this dirty?
I know. It was so funny. It was good. It was so much fun to see them do it all and just enjoy themselves. So I think that's the best part of it all, being with their friends and just having a blast.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, kids now say bye and good night, and we want to thank you. What do you want to say real quick, Nick?
If I had to say one thing, subscribe to Nick is Awesome.
Subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Nick is awesome.
Shameless plug.
Yay!
Shameless plug. Okay, that's it. Jellica, what do you want to say?
So for all the kids out there, if you don't feel like going on a mud run, you'll probably change your mind after.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's right. All right, say goodnight.
100% true.
Okay, say goodnight. Say goodnight.
Bye.
Tony's going to do it with us this year. Okay, go tell your dad that it's your bedtime and you should go right to sleep.
Bye. Nick is awesome.
Good
night.
Perlita, will you please thank Ariel for us?
I will. No worries.
Sorry I didn't thank her. Look at Caroline yawning over there. I saw you.
I know.
Way past my bedtime.
Okay. Okay.
We'll
I
get
know.
Caroline to talk first.
Oh my goodness. I want you to know that's my life every day, every minute.
It's okay.
And I'm trying to smile like, look at my beautiful family, but off camera I'm going, stop it! Stop kicking her!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're great. We have great kids. We're really, really lucky. So,
Yeah.
okay, now, adults. That really, I really am glad we got them on there because that was one of my favorite parts of it was the kids really, really were different before and after. They knew it was going to be fun, but I don't think they knew what to expect. And I didn't expect them to have as much fun and as much belly laughing. Don't you think, Perlita?
Yeah, I agree, Carol. You know, I think my baby, Ariel, she was nervous before starting it all because she didn't know what to expect. I mean, she saw us, but for herself to do it, I think she was nervous. But once they got going and they started to laugh and do the obstacles, you know, she started to gain that confidence. And so she really enjoyed it. And, you know, she told me, Mom, I want to do this again. And it's part of her little birthday because it's the day after her birthday, and so we want to make it a little tradition for her to do it because she really enjoyed it. And so, but after she was done, I mean, she just like, oh, Mom, that was so much fun, and you know, ew, the mud, and so she really liked it, even though the mud was kind of stinky, but it was all worth it. So yeah.
You know what? I have that exact same story about Caroline Miner when the first time she did it with me, she was nervous and she didn't know what to expect and she didn't want to do it and the mud was gross and exactly everything you said. But then she started gaining confidence.
And then at the end of the whole thing, I peed in my pants. I was so excited.
That's just something that happens all the time. Doesn't have anything to do with the run.
What? You pee in your pants, Caroline? What?
No.
I love the mud. I like the mud part of those runs. I love that. I love that. That's
good. That's good to know, Caroline, because I've been trying to get other people to register and tell them, hey, it's so much fun because we do it as a group, but we do it as a team, and they're like, oh, I don't want to get my hair dirty, and I'm like, come on,
get over
people.
yourself.
Really, it's just like 1 hour of your life. Just do it. Check it off your bucket list and just do it. It's so much fun to do it with your friends. And I did talk to our team captain this past weekend.
Rebecca?
And, yes, I sure did. And she was like, okay, so do y'all run? I go, you know, the last year we ran maybe about 100 yards, I believe. And then we stopped and we just started walking. We started walking and talking. And I told Rebecca, I'm like, it's just so much fun just to walk and talk. Walk and talk, enjoy ourselves, do the obstacles. If you're really scared of it, you don't have to do it. And so I know that I was afraid of the balance beam, just trying to go across it.
Well, there was a crocodile under it. There was an alligator under it.
That's what scares me, is that alligator.
I mean,
and I was just afraid to go because you think, oh, it's wide enough, but when you get on it, it's like, whoa, okay.
What if I slip and hit myself in the middle?
Say that again?
In the middle of what? In the middle of the run? In the middle of the day? What are you talking about? No, seriously, that balance beam is a little... I did. There were several, and it was funny because some people were just, you know, skipping across it, and I'm not that kind of person. There was water under it, and it was a bit of a drop. I mean, I'm not just going to walk. So they did have some people that could help you a little across it if you needed them to. But and there was this giant alligator under it, but it was inflatable. It was inflatable. But it was so funny. Every turn was so funny, and you're right, Rita, the walking and talking. Heck, Caroline and I try to get in a walk and talk and laugh as often as we can.
Yeah.
That's free therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. It was good, and the other fun part was going in the lazy river in Palm Beach, and that was just fun. Just getting ourselves wet, swimming, and then getting out and getting a drink. Drink.
They have bars along the way or stands with drinks. I think it was a water stand. I don't know. There was a band and we danced. That's all I know.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was over too quickly when we did it. When it got to the end, it was like, it's over? It's over already? It was like, it was too quick because it was too much fun and you wanted it to go on.
It was so funny. And I always say it's like an entry level run for people who aren't sure, like if they can even do something like this, when you absolutely can, because you can walk around anything. But if you don't want to walk around a wall, let's say there's a high wall, they're so cool the way they have put a lower wall right next to it. So you have options. You have options. Of course, you always have the option of not doing an obstacle, but you don't have to do something intimidating. But if you want to challenge yourself, there's always something challenging too.
Right. Well, Carol, I'm so afraid of heights, and so a lot of those obstacles, I was just shaking, but I did quite a bit of them, and the wall. And I was like, okay, there's the step missing to get me over this wall. But there were ladies there, strangers, complete strangers, that are helping me get over the wall. And so I was so thankful for them helping me get over that wall. I'm not sure if I'll do it again, because now that I know, I don't know if I can handle it. But I was so thankful that these strangers, they were helping. They helped me get over that wall, and I was like, oh, thank God. But, I mean, yeah, there's some modifications of some of those walls, which I'm glad, because I know that very tall walls, I was like, oh, my gosh.
You probably don't even remember, Perlita, but there were times where you were encouraging complete strangers too, and me too. And there have been things that I needed people to talk me over, and Caroline too. But we're now the first ones to tell somebody who looks a little nervous, you can totally do that. You can do it. Here, come with me.
Right. All right. So yeah, I agree. I think it was a lot of fun because we got to encourage everybody, each other, and it really helps. It really helps to do it with a team. So hopefully, if people are listening tonight or right now or later, if they're thinking about joining, it would be awesome just to. And if they don't have a team, they could probably join our team.
They totally can.
And just join us. We're the Purple Pinups, and we're doing the 12:30 wave. Woohoo! And there's going to be men, so maybe the men can help us. Push my bum over the wall. And so it would be kind of nice to have some men on our wave. And so
that's the only problem with this run. It's not scenic enough.
I didn't realize this was an X-rated podcast. I think I'm going to have to turn in early. It's a little racy for somebody of my age.
I lied. It's very scenic. It's in beautiful Moody Gardens. There's a gorgeous bay, Galveston Bay, the pyramids. It's beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no X-rated.
No, nothing. And don't inhale the foam at the end. We were telling our friend Alana last year, do not inhale the foam because it's not pretty. And so there's a lot of foam towards the end. Just don't breathe it. Don't breathe it in.
I have to find that footage. Because we did take a little video there, and they told us don't breathe in the foam, and we're okay. And the first thing she did was breathe in the foam and about coughed up a lung. It was so funny.
She couldn't see, really. She couldn't really see for a while. Her eyes were kind of burning, but Hilarious. It was all good.
It was our lost mudder when we went to she did the Tough Mudder with us one year and got separated from the group for the entire day, and it was so scary. So people have written me and asked about her, and so she got back on that horse and back into a mud run with us at Gritty Goddess, and we didn't lose her. It was great.
It was fun. It was fun. So hopefully next year she'll get back with us and do with us again. So it would be nice.
Yeah, she got hurt,
to
so
have
she's
a
not
bumper.
doing it this year. She's not doing it this year because she got hurt. Caroline,
Yeah.
this will be your third Gritty Goddess or fourth?
Yeah, my third.
Tell us about your first two.
The first one, I just remember my nemesis was that cargo net. How terrified I was, because like Carlita, I'm absolutely terrified of heights. And to some people that may not seem that high, but
It's
to me,
very
it was
high.
like, this is terrifying. That when you get up there, you could potentially slip through one of those holes in the net if you didn't manage it correctly. And
Explain how the net is, because it's not just a climb up, climb down.
No, it's not. It doesn't just go to a point. It goes flat across the top for, I don't know, is that like 4 foot or something across the
More.
top?
It has to be at least 5 feet or more that you have to crawl parallel to the ground, but you're way up high.
The net part and nothing underneath it. I think there's another obstacle underneath it maybe, but nothing's safe. Anyway, so you just climb up. And I remember going, you were waiting at the top for me, and I climbed up one side, and I went back down because I couldn't go over that. I just couldn't get my mind into going over that hurdle to get onto the flat part. 3 times, and I think the third time I got up there, you said, you better get up here and do it now as I'm getting down, and something like that. And so I just got up there and terrified, sweaty hands, shaking, so nervous, just so nervous. And then getting to the other side and getting down and feeling like I'd accomplished the world, because it was so terrifying. But when you overcome it, you just feel so good. And then the second year doing it, just remember just going and doing it and not even worrying, just going and doing it, and it was over with. So this year, who knows, I may have time to have gotten nervous again.
So you didn't have any problem because you went back. What I loved was that you did it immediately the next time they did a run. You did it again with another girlfriend who had never done anything like that.
Right.
And
right.
How did she like it?
She loved it. We laughed so much. We had the best day. It was so much fun. She had never done, I don't think she'd even done a 5K, so she'd never done any kind of thing like that. And she'd seen pictures of it on Facebook, and she thought that it looked really good, but she wanted to do it. And so she asked, would I do it? And, you know, when you've done it once, you feel good about taking other people to do it. You're excited to show other people and take other people. And so it was great for her. She loved it. It was really, really good. We had such a great day. So much fun. So much fun. So much laughing and not taking yourself too seriously.
No, that's why I really appreciate the company. I really appreciate what Claire and them do, because you know how women can be and all. There's no cattiness out there. There's no, you know, we can kind of just we get a million things going and a million balls in the air, and we're never doing anything for ourselves. Well, okay, yeah, every once in a while. But you just get so excited seeing these people. You can tell who's really overcoming things, and I feel like we all get like so energized by what we have accomplished, what other people are accomplishing. So yeah, you start like laughing with total strangers and telling total strangers, you got this, come on, blah, blah.
All right, I totally agree, Carol. But like going back to the cargo net, I'm like in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how to get over it again, because I'm like so scared to do it right now, just to think, oh my gosh, I have to go up and try to get myself across. And it was interesting how everybody had their own plan to go across it. Some women were rolling.
That's what I did, and I'm doing it again this time.
And I was on my bum, just kind of scooting myself across.
Crab crawling like.
Crab crawl, and I was just like, I just wanted to get off of it, so I was trying to hurry. Then my shoe got kind of caught, and I was like, man, so I'm thinking, do I take off my shoes so the bottom of my soles don't get caught? And I'm like, and I was so afraid that I was never going to get, going again. And there's all these women that were coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying.
And
But
shaking that thing. That thing is shaking from all the women crawling across it at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to figure out another way to do it. And, yeah, some of the women were rolling, and I was like, oh, my gosh. But I would think it might be kind of painful, Caroline, to roll.
No, it's not. It's not painful. You just don't even think about it. You just get up there, and I closed my eyes and just felt my way. Because I think the worst part is looking down through that net when you're up there and you look down and see what's underneath.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yes, and then trying to get off on the other side. I was like, how do I turn my body around? Of course, if you're rolling, it's okay because you can kind of maneuver your legs down. But like I was on my bum, doing the crab going across, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I turn my whole big old body, flip it? And they just, I was like, oh, dear God, let me hold on tight to these nets and let me try to figure out how to flip myself around and then go back down. And I was that was my fear. I was like, oh, my gosh. But, I mean, we managed. We all got out. I don't think anybody was stuck. And so,
Still here.
if I can do it, I know anybody can. And I have this big fear of height. I'm going to try to figure out another way to do this time around, but I'll do it. We'll do it.
Did y'all use okay, so I cheated as usual. There's a big wooden thing in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like two structures put together. So if you go in the very middle, when you get to the top and you have to go across the scary part, it's almost like a balance beam under the net.
Uh-huh.
That's so sturdy. And
I think I did use that beam, but I was so scared. I was shaking that I was like, oh my gosh, and then my foot gets stuck. I'm like, but I think I did use part of that beam because I was just nervous.
It just seemed stable to me, and so I clung to that. But really what got me down quickly is when Caroline started swearing and expletives.
Now stop that.
What?
Nobody needs to hear that.
That's why I got down quickly. You're right. I was like, okay, she's going to be fine. No, we had fun. It was so much fun. I can't recommend it enough to people. It is super empowering, and it's bonding, and it's inspiring because you see all these people doing stuff like that too.
And then you get the wine at the end and your ice cream, and you feel like you really deserved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like the best part of it all. Like, Carol and I, our families were like the last ones to pretty much leave, and weren't we getting like free stuff? Like
yes,
free soup,
because they had all the little samples that they had given out all the samples, and they had given plenty. It was such a great run for little samples of things. So they gave us a few extra because, they're breaking down the tent. We didn't want to go anywhere. It was fantastic.
It was.
Beautiful day at Moody Gardens. And for those of you that don't know, in Galveston, Moody Gardens is like a giant complex. It's a touristy complex. There's 3 big pyramids, and one is a giant aquarium, and one is a giant rainforest, and one is a giant children's discovery museum. And then they have a big ropes course now, and they have a Palm Beach water area with a lazy river. They incorporate that into this mud run, that lazy river and the beach, the sandy part, and it's just such a beautiful complex. If somebody contacted me the other day and they told me that they were doing an Ironman. Do you know what an Ironman is?
Wow.
Isn't that like a marathon or a
That's a big thing.
It's overdrive. It's like ridiculous. And they're doing it at Moody Gardens the following weekend. And I was like, oh, I do something like that there. I'm like you. I am. I do a Greek goddess there.
In my head.
In my head. In my world. But it is. I mean, it's baby steps, and it's to me the perfect thing because I don't know any of our friends who wouldn't enjoy it. I can't imagine anybody who wouldn't enjoy it. Like, I know some people who wouldn't like a Tough Mudder, or I know some people who really wouldn't like a triathlon because of the swim or something like that. But I can't think of anybody who wouldn't have a ton of fun with something like this. It's pretty long. It's 3 miles, but it's doable. It's totally doable. And
it's like the same fun of getting in one of those kids' bouncy castles. It's like that. It's like that same fun, letting yourself go and just having fun with it, not like being serious or having to act all grown up. You can act all silly, and it's cool.
It is. It's playing.
Yeah.
And play is important.
Oh yeah, it's good therapy for us women. So.
Yeah, and we need it. I'm sorry. I do think it's very healthy. We're always talking about diet and all that, but I know there's a lot of research that's not even going to work if you have all kinds of high levels of stress and cortisol and everything. But forget even diet. Just for a healthy mindset, just to take a mental break. Everybody's job, your job, my job, most people's listening job. It's too much to be in that mode for too long. And we get a weekend, but this is like a big time mental break.
Right.
Oh yeah.
A little de-stressor.
Yeah.
So I have Carol, I have Carla Puente that's joining us.
Yay!
Yeah. So Carla's joining us. I've been talking to her about it, and she already has she registered Neve to do the little kid run with the girls, and so she's going to be doing it. Yes, it's going to be Neve, her daughter, and a nephew of hers, and so they're going to be doing the kids run, and she's joining us, and she's so excited, and she's been talking about it, and she's really looking forward to do it with us. So I'm glad, because I've been talking about it, and
has she done one before, Kalita?
Say that again?
Has she done one before or anything like it?
Never. Oh, so this is her first one. So we're going to scare her. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're not going to scare her. No, we're just going to...
she's going to love it.
I'm going to show her some pictures. Did you show us some pictures already?
I think she's seen some pictures on Facebook, and okay. I'll have to show her again. And so, yes, for what she's seen, she's gone online to the grittygoddess.com website, and she's like, oh, my gosh, the obstacle, that's long. I said, no, not really. Once we start walking and talking, it'll go by quite fast. But she's like, oh, my God.
Okay, you know what we need to do for her and for y'all? If you send a JPEG, just a picture of your face, to Claire at Gritty Goddess, there's a link on the website with her address. She will turn you into a Superwoman cartoon. Have you seen that?
No.
So funny. Have you seen it, Caroline?
I did it last time, but it never came back. I never got my face in there.
Well, we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to get on that this week, because I hope we haven't missed the deadline. But it's so fun to post that as your profile picture, because it's like a Photoshop. It's your same face, but only this much of it around this cartoon woman.
Yeah, we should do that. I'll have to check into that. I'll have to see if we can get a picture of us and do it.
Everything they do is great, because it's very much for women. There's lots of nice smelling things that they have samples of, and there's massage and all kinds of stuff in the tent. I've never seen so many tutus in my life. Like, everybody feels that they have to wear a tutu. But
yeah.
I don't think we're doing.
And so do we have an outfit to wear?
We're purple pinups, so we have these purple shirts that are coming that you owe us $17 for. Nurse.
Yeah, I knew there was that. But what's the pinup part? I mean, are we going to have some va-va-va-boom or something?
You already... Look who's making it X-rated. I'm glad that we don't have video. Well, we do have video. Oh, well. Sorry. Sorry for Nurse Minor. I don't know. I didn't even think if we were going to pad ourselves or try to look like pinup.
That's
Get
why
some
we're
wig.
the purple pinups.
Oh, we got to talk about it. Half of our team is running a little earlier with us, so I think Perlita's right. Anybody in the area, anybody that can make it down to Galveston for the April 18th Gritty Goddess. And if you can't, because this is coming out close to the run, they do it again in the fall. They're going to publish the dates right after this run is done, and I just can't recommend it enough. It's a blast. So what do y'all think, ladies? Any final words you want to tell to people out there?
Join us. Come have fun with us. And if you want to, if you're doing it by yourself, you could come join us at 12:30 Wave.
Yes.
We'll be there. And I know that there were some women that were doing it by themselves, and I don't want anyone to do it by themselves. To just join a team, join us, the Purple Pinups, and it's just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Check that off your little bucket list and do it. And don't be like, mad. No, just get dirty. Got it.
That is really fun.
It's just have fun. That's all. And don't worry about, I have to run the whole thing. No, you don't. You just enjoy it. Enjoy yourself and enjoy your friends.
I totally agree. I think you almost cheat yourself out of it when you run it real fast. It's going to be over in 30 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
the next day. It's Memorial Park the next day.
Right. So no, just go in and have fun. Enjoy it. That's all I can say. It's a lot of fun.
Caroline, you want to say anything else?
Yeah, don't be intimidated by the idea of it. That's kind of a waste of your time, feeling like like this is a bigger deal than it is. Just make sure that you make the most of it and really don't worry about it. Don't think that I can't do as much as other people, or it's not about them. It's about what you do and how you enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What great advice. What is it about? It's about, you and your friends, or you and your challenges, you in which you can overcome, or just you having a good time. When you were saying that, I was thinking when Perlita was like, come join us. So we have listeners literally all over the world. So there's definitely people who are not able to come join us. But, obviously anybody in the area that can, for sure. But I would strongly encourage you to look for something in your area and get just one friend to do it with you. And let us know. I love people are sending me, like Lisa Jarman. Once we did a Tough Mudder. Now she went and did her own Tough Mudder in Kentucky with all her friends and people who had never done anything and would never have considered doing anything like that. So, that's it. Doesn't have to be this particular run. I think these things are very inspiring. Just to look for something in your area. Do you remember David Whitlock, Caroline? He's in the UK.
I know who he is.
He's a guy, you didn't ever meet him, but I showed you. He was in the UK and he has his own boot camp. I think he's in Surrey, isn't he?
He is, yeah. We're Facebook buddies now.
Well, he's so motivating online, and we met through the show. And they just did their first mud run, and I was so honored that he sent me hey, look, I was thinking, my God, they're running in Europe, and I'm getting to watch it, and I got to follow, with their pictures and stuff. And we can all do that. We can all link up because David's constantly posting stuff, and I'm sharing his stuff on the Fat to Fit page. So I just think once you do something like this, it's great for yourself, but you just never know who you're going to inspire. Lisa has inspired tons of people. Y'all have already inspired tons of people. Caroline, you brought a friend, and you're bringing other friends. And Rebecca said she wanted to do it since she saw us do it last year. And now look, she has a whole team, and we're joining her team. And then Carla, I saw Carla this morning, and I was like, I can't believe you're going to run with us. It's so great. So Perlita, kudos that you're already bringing more people into it.
I tried to bring more. I really did. I tried. And they're like, I already said. my hair. I'm like, oh gosh, okay, come on.
So
just we will hose you down at the end. We'll get the hose and spray you down. That's all. You know,
but you have to say that mud gets in places you never knew mud could get.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of funky.
I won't any of that down.
It took a while to wash it all off, but I guess it was worth it. It helped improve my skin, you know, just a little bit.
Oh, and Perlita stayed at Moody Gardens, which is a very hoity-toity, nice hotel. So we sponged off them for the rest of the day. We went to the pool with them and used the bar there and everything, because I bet it was very lovely to just hang around there and then go back to your fancy room and everything.
And you know, we probably could do it. Just go into the pool area. They didn't ask.
He doesn't know that this is broadcast to the world.
Oh. I mean, never mind. Sorry. Sorry, just kidding. So
we're just going to distance from her when we get there, Caroline, because somebody's going to take away our passes.
I'm just kidding.
So, you're funny. Okay. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you a million times. I can't thank you enough, because what fun would it be by myself?
Well, thank you, Gritty Goddess. Thanks to Gritty Goddess.
Yes, thank you, Gritty Guys. Thank you, Claire, for continuing to do these runs, and for all the charity, the money you raise, and all the people you inspire, and partnering with me in this. We just love it. We just love being a part of it. I try to talk about it all year long. I do want to say really quickly hello to a friend of mine who is also in the UK. Her name's Patia, and Patia Gummer. She's been writing me for about a year, and I always mean to mention her on the show because we just trade emails. And Caroline, if we needed one more broken friend like in our group of just obsessing about, well, this is supposed to work, I'm doing exactly what they say and it doesn't work, and constantly obsessing about it, Patia would fit in with our it's just fine. So I just wanted to say hi to her and tell her to hang in there, girlfriend. She sounds like she's doing great. She always sounds like she has a really healthy attitude. And yeah, and just everybody out there doing healthy things. I'm a little on the not doing healthy things side, but I'm 7 days into a Whole30 with Caroline, and I'm feeling pretty good again, so that's good. I'm going to change the name of the show to the Yo-Yo Diet Show, but that's another story.
How about the Ho-Ho Diet Show?
The Oreo Diet Show. Okay. All right, ladies. I can't wait. We're just a few weeks away, so I'll get this show out as soon as possible. Yay. Thank you again. I'll tell y'all good night, and thank you for letting the kids come on.
Bye.
Okay, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
See you later.
So that was too much fun, right? I'm sorry about how crazy it was in the beginning, but I love it. I love that my kids are enthusiastic about it. I love that I'm not pulling teeth like when I'm trying to get them to do swim team and stuff like that. Look for something like that for your kids or you or your friends. Don't worry about trying to kill it out there unless you're the kind of person that wants to kill it. You know, Chris Tinder, I'm talking to you. If you want to dominate these obstacle runs, you can still join us. We will cheer for you as you run by us. No, we still manage to do them all as a team. We just might break up for part of it and get back together. So don't think you can't do it. It really is. As long as you're acclimated to the climate and the climate isn't a big issue for you, as long as you can walk the distance of the course without injuring yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just starting to walk a little bit more, and a little bit more, a little bit more. And yeah, if you can train some upper body strength, some crawling, some climbing, then, you know, you'll be that much better off. But the biggest thing is to get with some friends and do something like this where you have an opportunity to push yourself. Look, I found my Fitbit. Isn't that fantastic? I've got to now start using it. So, yeah, it's been an interesting first part of the year. I've already been up and down and yo-yoed with the eating and the weight, but I'm hanging in there. I hope you're hanging in there. And if you're listening to this, you are. So email me any feedback at carol@fat2fithq.com. Really appreciate the feedback. We are going to Paleo FX in just a couple weeks. And I can't do the whole conference. If you can be in the Austin area the weekend of April 24th, then we could meet up just for the expo, the conference floor. Expo is only $25, or you can do the barbecue cook-off with us Saturday night. So shout out to Hammer Jammer John Ellis, who's going to be meeting us in Austin, and anybody else that can hook up together when you're there. That would be a blast. Don't forget, Tough Mudder, October, Las Vegas, and Tough Mudder, Chicago, right around the corner, May 9th. I've got discounts for you for both those runs. You won't forget it. I know it seems a little pricey. I've got one word for you. 2 words. Worth it. 2 words. Totally worth it. It is. It's totally worth it. So, yeah, we've got this Gritty Goddess in Galveston. Oh, you would have so much fun. I hope people join us for that. So one more big thanks to Caroline, to Perlita, to all the purple pinups, to Rebecca for signing up and creating our team this year and bringing more friends into the fold. Thanks to the Salva kids. Thanks to Ariel Robles. And thanks to you for listening. So go do something healthy. Go make your fitness fun. It doesn't have to be a drag. and join us if you can. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching that video, but you should really come over and check out fat2fithq.com. Getting healthy, staying healthy, does not need to be miserable. Sometimes you just need a friend to go along the journey with you. You'll find links to our Facebook page, our MyFitnessPal community, and a lot of ways that you can have company on this journey. Thanks again for watching. Go do something healthy. Bye.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv.